But we almost got in trouble there.
Here's a new one. Got this off Alpha News. God help us.
Did you just call it Alfalfa News?
Alfalfa News?
I don't think I did.
Peach, prune, and Alfalfa News.
Hey, while the sun's
I
shining.
think I said Alpha News.
Okay. I don't think you did.
A bill making its way through the Minnesota legislature is drawing controversy for its apparent racial exclusivity. It will allocate $15 million in taxpayer funding for culturally specific programming and food services for black students in the city of Minneapolis. The bill has been introduced by Democratic Reps Esther Agbaje and Cedric Frazier in the House and Senator Omar Fateh in the Senate. It would direct state funding to the We Win Institute, a Minneapolis-based nonprofit that provides academic, social, and food services for children and youth. I don't believe a word of this. I believe that'll just... It's hard to keep track of how rapidly this state is collapsing under the weight of poor governance and the waste of taxpayer dollars. Tom Bonnet has a letter that's very germane to this, and he is responding to our friend Tom Cullen, who is trying to get to the bottom of legislators not working to the point where he filed a suit against his state rep, Bianca Vernick, scheduled for a hearing now as soon as July by Zoom. But Bonnet writes, Joe, I hate to play email ping pong with my fellow District 52 resident Tom Cullen, but it was timely that you read an update from Cullen on Wednesday regarding his lawsuit against Vernick. On Tuesday evening, I attended a healthcare town hall at the Egan Community Center hosted by Reps Liz Ryer, 52A, Bianca Vernig, 52B, and Attorney General Keith Ellison. The town hall focused on medical debt. The representatives and Attorney General patted themselves on the back ceaselessly for passing the Debt Fairness Act, which resulted in several changes to how or even if medical providers and debt collectors can collect on overdue medical bills. The audience, with prematurely gray-haired euphorians outnumbering GLers 10-1, fawned over the hosts. I've never seen a group of people so deliriously happy that people were skating on their obligations. The handful of GLers who spoke up were met with derision and, in a couple of cases, open hostility. You know it's bad when Keith Ellison, of all people, has to remind attendees to remain civil. The part of the presentation that most caught my attention was the announcement of proposed legislation that would allocate tax dollars toward purchasing patient debt from hospitals and medical providers. Details were sketchy, but here's my interpretation. The state of Minnesota will give $5 million to a nonprofit called Undo Medical Debt. The nonprofit will purchase $500 million in Minnesotans' medical debt. As a result, up to 400,000 Minnesota residents will have their medical debt wiped out or significantly reduced. If that doesn't add up for you, you're not alone. Multiple attendees tried pressing the hosts for detail, but the presentation was short on statistics and heavy on emotion and anecdotes. Representative Ryer admitted that there is a lot of justified concern about fraud in the state, but she assured us that this nonprofit, Undo Medical Debt, seems legit. That's what she told me.
What does that mean?
It seems legit. You read that right, Joe. In a state where fraud is rampant and unscrupulous people and organizations have taken Minnesota taxpayers for hundreds of millions of dollars, rest assured that this time they've got it right. We're giving millions to an organization that seems legit. And if in a couple of years we're seeing fraud trials related to this latest potential boondoggle, in the words of Governor Fudd, oh, shucks, I guess we're just a generous state. Being in a room overflowing with euphorians impressed upon me that these people will never respond to statistics or reason. Emotion will trump every time, at least as long as taxpayers keep ponying up the money. As one conservative said to Keith Ellison, We don't have the money. Keith Ellison replied, "Thank you for sharing your point of view." And then he proceeded full steam ahead on pursuing the newest shiny plaything, capturing the interest of the children at the state capitol. Here's why it's ripe for fraud.
I've got some questions.
You're going to give $5 million to a nonprofit about which we know nothing. And they're going to use the $5 million to erase or purchase $500 million in debt? I don't believe that. That's not plausible.
That math doesn't work out, Joe.
I don't know how to do the math, but that's less than pennies on the dollar, isn't it? I don't. $5 million.
Well, especially when a penny now costs 3 cents to me.
Okay, $5 million to purchase $500 million. I can't do the math,
That
but that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
It's almost like one of those email scams. You send me $1 million and I'll send you 10.
Here we go.
I'm a
Where do I
prince in
sign up?
wherever.
I can't keep up with it.
Well, normally when debt is purchased, it's from debt collectors who then take the risk thinking they can recoup that money.
I know how it works.
So how none of this makes any sense.
Thank you.
I mean,
So far, you've been very accurate, Kenny.
I'm trying to make even a little. We must be missing something here.
Bonnet, email me back. Are we missing something? They want to use $5 million to purchase $500 million of debt? As Bonnet said, does that make sense? It doesn't add up. No, it doesn't add up.
Doesn't add up.
But here's the problem.
Well, who in their right mind would think this would be a good idea?
The DFL. Because
Benefiting
see how
who?
easy it would be to steal $5 million when you're up against $500 million? Get it?
Yes.
In other words,
Yes.
our task was so momentous. We spent this much here, this much here. You're not going to accomplish anything. No one's going to sell you $500 million for $5 million.
Right.
I'll buy $500 million right now for $5 million. Can you arrange that for me?
I can get
I'll
you the
buy
numbers.
$500 million to the good right now if I can give you $5
I'm
million.
Colton Bilski at North American Banking.
Yeah.
I don't even think he'd approve that loan.
Okay.
You were mentioning the We Win. It was something I was going to bring to your attention because I've been in communication with a listener about this.
We win. That's the fraud shaping up to feed culturally appropriate
Oh, I got to do this right here. The two gentlemen that you had named in this story, apparently one of them...
I didn't name anybody, did I?
I thought you said Fateh, didn't
Oh,
you?
yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
And the other gentleman's Zaynab
yeah,
Mohamed.
they're both food fraudsters, aren't they?
But he also made an announcement saying that he was I was never a part of the We Win Institute because he's trying to get out ahead of the fraud.
Yeah. Where did I see
Great
that?
little deal here we got going.
Isn't one of them on the city council?
I think you're...
Or are we talking
Fateh's a
about somebody
state
else?
senator.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Here it is. I just set it aside. There's so much fraud I can't keep up. No, this is the proposed bill that would allocate $15 million to We Win Institute. Look up We Win Institute. But the bill is drawing criticism. Apparently, when criticism is drawn, it's really easily ignored in this state. For example, Bonnet's at this health meeting in Egan. He's doing the Lord's work, being a GLer, going to see what's up. And he raises his voice, and he's just ridiculed.
We win. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know where it's located because I was sent this. It's on Portland Avenue, and it says, this keeps getting weirder. Worse and obvious, it's corrupt. This is a headquarter for a $3 million a year organization that now wants $15 million a year. It's basically a very modest home on Portland Avenue.
Okay, Rook, what have you found?
I'm at wewin.org.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nonprofit, community-based 501c3 committed to providing free programs and services for children and youth in our community. Education is the foundation of the Black movement ecosystem, and it is the centerpiece of We Win's work. We Win strengthens academic outcomes for kids ages 5 to 18 in the greater metropolitan area. We use a culturally relevant curriculum with an integrated focus on reading, writing, critical thinking. What'd I say? Circulum?
You made up a
Did
word,
I say
George.
circulum?
You made up a word.
Curriculum, yeah, thank you.
Circulium.
Circular, it's like around education.
a
We Win
washing
brings a
machine part.
successful, proven model that just it keeps going on. And
You
on.
can stop now. So many thoughts flood my mind now that I'm admitting to you that I can't keep up with this.
I've got one more too.
Well, why does a state that spends so much money on programs also dream up dozens and dozens of ways to spend even more money with nonprofits, sometimes duplicating the services the state provides? Well, it's in order to, they're paying off people. I think the DFL has become corrupt. I think Walz is stuffing his wallet with money. There's dollar bills hanging out of his pockets. They're all cheating. They're all getting money. They've led me to that point. I don't know what else you want me to believe.
Welcome to the team.
Why does a state so heavily invested in creating program after program after program think that isn't enough? So what they do is they dream up bills to allocate more millions of dollars to various nonprofits, many of which we found are completely fraudulent. Well, you got another one, Kenny?
It's a maelstrom, I think the word is. Yeah.
Maelstrom.
I briefly
Maelstrom.
mentioned a city council member, and you guys corrected me. I thought, I know I read something from 2 days ago, Star Tribune. Minnesota City Council member Jamal Osman entangled in fraud trial.
Oh, yeah.
An investigator said he operated the nonprofit Stigma Free as a shell company until it was turned over to a former aide to Mayor Jacob Fry. So, yeah, maelstrom.